Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is where I just talk about my journey in building a business, and I've got a million and one things to do today, but for some reason I just got the urge to make a video. So here we are, and I just wanted to talk about like toxic environments. And I'm sure you get them in every industry, but I've definitely got caught slipping in one of the jobs that I did. I was working a good job, and my phone updated. Right, my phone updated. You'll see this in the first video of this channel. Actually, I started making this channel afterwards. I just thought, I just gonna go for it. So, and I was working a good job, and my phone updated, and it gives it auto installs certain apps, and it auto installed Indeed, so the job searching website. 1 second. I'm on the green tea now, so no more pressing the coffee. I've triple dipped this green tea bag, so like I'm proper squeezing it. Jesus, clean this car. I need to clean my car and my bike, and I've got a van now as well. I'll put that on the channel actually on a short. And I'm going to put some decals on it, so to show people how it's done and what to expect, and little tricks and tips, just basic stuff like when you put like don't put no tools in the vehicle and stuff. It's literally a van for a bit of traveling, and if something does come up that needs a van, I've got a van. So yeah, Indeed was downloaded onto my phone, and I just thought, I wonder what's about. And I just looked up, applied for this job, got an interview. They were begging it. Oh my god. I was so naive when you look back, and these people. First of all, this guy left, and I would advise anyone, if someone leaves, ask why, and probably dig into that, because you'll set yourself up the way I did. So, for instance, I later found out that guy who left was only there for a month. That's terrible. That's high turnaround. That's worse than retail. Retail goes quickly. That's got the high traffic flow, hasn't it? So it was just another print job. They're absolute snakes. I despise them. They made me spend my savings, which I shouldn't have done, but I needed the money because I quit. Yeah, I'm getting fired up now. I'm bringing this back. So I joined this. So I left a decent job with good people, like then like they say your environmental friends, like people at your work. Wouldn't necessarily hang around with them outside of work, but they're nice enough people. Like a lot of them were old boys, so we would struggle for finding things to come in, and obviously old people tease younger people with their young people things, which is fine. I've got thick skin. I give it back as well. I'm like, all right, you boomer, and they're like, what? So I left a good job, and then I got this other job, and about a week or two into it, I thought, like I'm really good at what I do, and I'm being micromanaged by someone. I would always argue, if someone gets you to do a job, I need a brief, I need a description of what you want, instead of a conversation that's a thread of an email. So what they used to do is send you, here's a job, and it would be a thread of a conversation that they've had with a client. So now I've got to read through every email to know what to do, instead of having bullet points. Please, it should be, I need this done. If you need any more stuff, refer back to the emails, the email thread, which is fine. So like I would go, okay, cool, I've got the resources if I get stuck, but like there's no direction. It's figure it out. And they were like, well, that is a brief, and it's like, it's not, because it's a conversation, and things can be misunderstood, or nothing's solid. So in a way, you're setting me up for an impossible job. An impossible job is someone setting you up to fail, basically. And believe it or not, that's what happened. A lot of the times I'd mess up very simple things due to miscommunication or not enough information. And there's only two reasons why you would fail a job. It's not enough time or not enough information. And arguably, there was too much information. So maybe there's a third reason. Because I don't want to hear a conversation. If unless I'm there at the beginning of the project where I'm going back and forth with someone, I don't want to read through a thing. If any other jobs I'd work, if you got an email thread, I'd bounce it. I'd say, no, thank you. What do you want? Like, give me a 1, 2, 3. What do you want? 1, I need this client to do this, and 2, da 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 da. All right, cool. So, and they had cameras everywhere. They were watching everything we did. It's such a bizarre place to work. I felt like just like a butler, you know what I mean? Like, oh, we need you upstairs. All right, what's up? And then you go upstairs and they're like, oh, there's a delivery. And I think, all right, I'll deal with the delivery, thinking it's like a material delivery. And it wasn't a material delivery. It was like Deliveroo. These fat bastards, like, they've ordered Deliveroo and got me to go downstairs to get it. Like, that happened once. I would never do that again. They kind of tricked me, and I was like, not happy with that. Like, they literally, oh man, just awful people, really bad people. Just they're bumping their clients. They're like seriously overcharging. Like, oh mate, that's be a markup, and some of the markups are looking healthy, but these markups were silly. But they had contracts with people, they couldn't move, so a lot of their contracts were with like army, I guess, of government. So once you got a contract with these people, you can just charge whatever you want, and they have to pay it. They can't go anywhere else. The contract. It's a terrible situation because I've approached companies before and I've done a bit of work with them, and then there's a big argument on their side, and then I hear it my side, and the argument is we already have a supplier, and if he finds out that someone else is doing little bits and bobs, even if it's something they can't do, they've broken the contract. So when you lock in with someone, it's kind of, I don't even know what that contract's called, if anyone knows, but it just seems a bit predatory, like, in a way, because like I'm like, look, I can do this thing for you. Okay, cool. We'll lock you in as our supplier. Now you got me. I'm just gonna mess you about and charge whatever I like. I'll charge you £300 to come measure something. Do you know what I mean? So like, and literally it'd be like a 2-minute drive. I mean, you could argue that measuring something, like, you got to measure what was previous there, and the distance between the sign and the road, and there's a bit more to it. But I just always felt like everything was silly, and I just felt like I could do everything for half the price, and I'd be chuffed. Do you know what I mean? Like, just me, give the job to me, I'll do it for half the price, and I'll be gassed. Like, do you know what I mean? I haven't really got any clients like that I can just kind of like, charge for. I know other businesses that do the same. It's a sort of a two-way thing as well, though, because they mess them around, but they charge them loads. So it's also, and I feel like if you bump someone with a price and they don't know, a lot of the times they don't know how much things are. They've got a problem, and you're the supplier. They just send it to you. They do the email thread thing. Here, read this email thread. So super toxic. I was getting like sort of, I'm not the guy to get pushed around. Like, I'll nip that in the bud straight away. Especially if you go to someone new, it's prison rules, isn't it? You've got to knock out the hardest guy there to get his respect for everyone, metaphorically. But if someone starts messing around, you go, no, we're not doing that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and on breaks and such, they didn't like that. You'd sit there, eat your food, finish it. It's an hour break. They're like, all right, we got this. I'm on break at the moment. Oh, and they didn't like that. I heard through the grapevine they were slagging me off. Like, why in the interview say it's 9 to 5, you got an hour break. And then when I take an hour break, like I just never understood that. And a lot of people just go with it. Like a lot of people get in early, leave late for free. They had this thing called the golden hour, which is absolutely bonkers. In this economy, it's where you go 9 to 5, and then you work for free till 6, and then after 6 you get paid overtime. So you have an hour of free. I'm not doing that. That's crazy. And I did overtime, and I'd email him saying I need my overtime. I need my overtime, and that was like squeezing a rock for water because it was just hard work. Absolutely crazy. So I understood why the guy left the month before. I lasted 2 months, which it sort of broke my heart in a way because I don't like giving up on stuff. But they lied to me. They offered me a company car. It wasn't a company car. It was a van that I had to take care of, fuel, everything. It's not a company car then. It's just I'm babysitting the company. I save on mileage, but I've got a car anyway, so wouldn't work out. I had a car crash as well, so a 44-ton lorry smashed into the back of my car. I don't think the manager asked once if I was okay. I went in that day after getting in the car crash, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm spinning. I've got to go. On the phone to the insurance company and such. I've still got a weird sort of lower back. I'm actually currently on a kneeling chair because that's how I have to sit now because I've got a really sensitive lower back. It's fine, but if you ever want a nuclear codes from me, you don't have to torture me. Just put me on a chair for 2 hours and I'll start talking. You know, it's just that sort of inflamed. So I'm going to spread the weight out between my butt and my knees, and that's sort of how I get on with things. I've got one here and on my desk. I swear by them. A lot of old people don't like them, and they'd rather just have a bad back. They just will not change. They're old dogs. So yeah, I've never known anything like it. It was so bizarre. I was mistreated, no respect. Nothing was good enough. I was wrong if I approached them with a question. I was wrong if I didn't ask a question. Everything was, I'd be walking out the door, and you got the don't stop technique, right? Anyone who works a job, do not stop walking. If someone asks you a question as you're leaving, don't stop. Go, oh, see you tomorrow, or answer it quickly, but keep walking. If you stop and lock in, that's a conversation. If you keep walking, so I'll do the walk out, don't stop technique, and they go, "You're not staying late," and I'll be like, "Oh no, I've got my life to live." If you give me some money, I could, but I can't just sit this short notice. They're like, "Oh, okay," and I go in the next day. It's like everyone stayed an hour late. I'm like, for free. Like, we're all men here. Like, I'm not going to get picked on. I'm not, like, what's going on? Like, why can't anyone say no? You know, my contract's this. We've both agreed on that. And then you get into a job and the goalposts are being moved. I get when you get into a job, they can't describe everything that's going to happen. But as long as it's not, like, extraordinarily different, like, go, can you sweep the floors? A lot of people go, no, that's not my job. If I'm the cleaner, I'll do it. I don't care. Like, it's not that deep. I like to work in a clean environment. Perhaps I've made the mess, so it's all give and take with that sort of stuff. Yeah, that was a strange blimp in my life, and I just felt so naive. I actually called my old job and said, "Can I have my job back?" And my boss had already said no. That was bummer, real bummer. But then I found where I'm working now, and in the interview they were like, "What's this space that you've missed out on?" And I was out of work for about 3 months. I worked in a coffee shop, so I was just paying rent basically. Got fed and watered. It's all good, and I was just doing a bit of side hustle stuff on the side, but again, it was nothing spicy. I bought my printer as well, so that was a sort of, maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Like, I worked an awful job with awful people, genuinely bad people. They couldn't give a about anyone. Um, so I bought my printer. I withdrew a bit of my savings to buy my printer, and you know, this printer's making me money basically every day. I think every day, even if it's a £5, it makes me money every day. So, you know, you could argue that that's sort of a blessing in disguise. But yeah, I've never known anything like it. That toxic jobs, man, that's crazy. And the fact they lied to me, and they were so okay with lying, it was so bizarre. That was such a weird place. And I just thought to myself, I'm not going to change anything here. I'm just going to quit. And the funny thing is, when I spoke to the boss and his wife, I was like, look, I'm going to go. Do you want me to work the rest of the week? And they were like, yes, please. And the boss was like, oh, is it me? Is it? And I was like, I said to him, I said, oi, Knobhead. I can't remember his name. I'm going to call him Knobhead. Oi, Knobhead. I haven't been paid yet, so I'm not saying anything. That's what I said to him. But the last guy lasted 1 month. I lasted 2 months. And the guy there who I worked with, lovely fellow, I'm not going to say his name, but he was actually the guy who I sat with. Absolute legend, lovely guy. He just put up with it. I said to him, I can't do it, mate. He's like, oh yeah, but you know, mortgage, and you know, people get locked in and they just, because they get trapped by these things. And I'm just like, what a shame. He actually called me up not too long ago and said that he quit. So I was like, I'm proud of you, man. He's working with his brother now. So yeah, wow, yeah, what a strange company, and what an awful like public display of people just going through your business. The problem is you. If that's happening, the problem is you. If you hire someone with specialties like me, who can do all the graphic design, can do all the print, knows the finesse, and you've hired me, so there's a little bit of trust there, I suppose. You're paying me to do something. Just let me do it. Just let me roll like I'm a competent guy. But yeah, the toxic jobs, man. What are you gonna do? If you want to talk about your toxic job below, we can put below, and might be interesting to see whatever, like just the weird stuff that happens. And you know when you start as well and something happens, you're like, oh, it must be a one-off. Like, you know, I'll let it. You know, this doesn't bother me, and then it happens again, and it happens again. It's like, this is my life. I'm just being. And the car crash. I had a car crash. So in 2 months' time, I was there for a month. Probably had a car crash. I was trying to like trundle on there, and yeah. So lots of things happened, but that job was just bad. I hope that place it goes. I genuinely, I hope they go out of business or something, because they're just awful people. They really are. Awful, gluttonous people. I just yeah. I don't really like saying stuff like that, but they were that bad. They were that bad. That's what I'd say. Yeah. I probably won't do another video like this, because I haven't really worked many toxic jobs. I get along with everyone, and I'm sick of what I do. So I just thought, a bit of a brain fart. I just want to bang out this video, get it out of the way. Like and subscribe, guys. Peace. Follow the journey. Have a good weekend.